Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Caprice Moore, Interim Vice Provost for Global Learning. Welcome to S&T's Global Learning Fall Speaker Series. This afternoon, I have the pleasure of introducing my colleague and friend, Dr. Gurun Grace Yin. Dr. Yin serves as Associate Professor in the Department of Civil, Architectural, and Environmental Engineering here at S&T. You know, over the past years, we've seen an increase in natural disasters, whether they be firestorms, earthquakes, tornadoes, windstorms, you name it. And certainly the Missouri region has been no exception. But can we live with all of these natural disasters? Dr. Yin will share her research and experiences in the presentation, Live with Natural Disasters. Remember to post your questions and comments in the chat for Q&A at the end of the presentation. Grace, the platform is yours. Thank you.
Thank you very much for introduction, Dr. Moore. So can you guys see my slide and hear me well?
Yep, it looks great.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. Today, I'm very glad to have this opportunity to talk to you about natural hazards and community resilience, how to live in harmony with the natural hazards by guiding them to gently say hello to our civil structures instead of ruthlessly destroying our civil structure and saying goodbye. Again, my name is Grace, Associate Professor of Missouri University of Science and Technology in Civil Engineering. I'm the Director of Center for Hazard Mitigation and Community Resilience. I'm also the Director of Wind Hazard Mitigation Laboratory, short for WHAM. And most importantly, I'm the teacher of a steel design class and a wind engineering class. And actually, this is my class time for steel design. And my students from the two classes support me so much that we move our class to this Zoom link. Welcome, everybody. So by many measures, 2020 has been disastrous. Do you agree with me? Let's leave pandemic alone. Let's look at the tropical storms in Atlantic Ocean. So they are so numerous that we run out of the letters in the Latin alphabet. And then we had to start to use the Greek alphabet. Alpha, beta, until iota. In total, 30 tropical storms, and 13 of them progressed into hurricanes. Let's look at the wildfires in California. They burned more than 4 million acres. And in the first 9 months of 2020, at least 188 people were killed in 16 weather disasters, and each of them cost $1 billion or more. Actually, Hurricane Laura itself killed 77 people and caused $20 billion of property loss. If our future was a movie, and 2020 would just be the short trailer, the global warming will continue and climate change will follow. What we face will be more powerful hurricanes, more intense wildfires, and more prolonged heat waves. We have to learn to live in harmony with the natural hazards, and that is resilience. To enhance the resilience of communities, the 35 affiliated faculty members in our Center for Hazard Mitigation and Community Resilience, have been working together to mitigate the harm from all different types of natural hazards. We hope the research we have been doing can help to build more resilient civil structures, infrastructure, communities, and cities. And the Wind Hazard Mitigation Laboratory I've been leading actually is more focused on wind hazards. We not only look at tornadoes striking Tornado Alley and southeast of the US. but also look at hurricanes and storm surge striking coastal cities. For each type of extreme winds, we not only conduct engineering research to improve the wind resistance of civil structures, advancing wind engineering and bluff body aerodynamics, we also do multidisciplinary research to promote the involvement of the entire community to build resilient communities together. Since we live in Missouri, part of a tornado alley, so today let's focus on tornadoes. In order to live in harmony with the tornadoes, we need to know who they are. What are their characters before we can tame them? How capable they are, and what do they like to do when they lose their temper? Now let's look at what a tornado looks like. This is a tornado. It's beautiful, elegant, spectacular, and magnificent if they occur far away from the society, especially far away from you. On average, about 1,200 tornadoes strike the entire US each year, and 45 visit Missouri. When do they often come to visit us? They often visit us in spring, March, April, and May. And this is why we call these 3 months tornado season. Unfortunately, this month is part of tornado season. When they come to visit us, they give us a very short notice, like 15 minutes. And 30 minutes, maybe the most. The uninvited guest may come to visit us at midnight while we are all asleep. Where do they often visit? It can be anywhere in Tornado Alley and southeast of the US. Sorry, they don't make any appointment with any location. If living in Tornado Alley, expect tornadoes at any time during the tornado season. For example, in 2011, on May 22nd, a high-intensity tornado struck Joplin, Missouri, just 200 miles away from our university. It killed 161 people, injured more than 1,000, and destroyed 8,000 structures and caused $2.8 billion of property loss. Can you imagine? 8 years later, in 2019, on the same day, on May 22nd, another high-intensity tornado struck Jackson City, Missouri, just 60 miles away from our university. If you are thinking a tornado will never strike my city, you may be wrong. And the tracks of a tornado in the past 64 years shows that tornadoes can occur anywhere in Tornado Alley and southeast of the US. So I wish you understand that an incident with a low occurrence probability annually can occur to you at a certain time point. Come back to Jackson City tornado. Since this tornado passed through the city, it destroyed many homes and business. For example, some buildings in some apartment buildings in an apartment complex were completely destroyed. A number of historical buildings in downtown area were severely damaged. And a long reinforced masonry wall of the old state prison was knocked down. It is 1 foot thick. And some posts for electric transmission lines fell to the ground, causing power outage. Based on the statistical data, tornadoes cause an average of $1 billion of property loss each year. However, in 2011 alone, the tornado-induced property loss exceeded $20 billion, and 550 people were killed. Even worse, research predicts if a high-intensity tornado struck a big city, it can kill a lot of people. For example, if it struck St. Louis, Missouri, it will kill 14,300 people. It's scary, isn't it? So now we understand some tornadoes can be dangerous, terrifying, devastating, costly, and deadly. They cause disasters. Since we cannot stop tornadoes from visiting us, we have to be proactive. We have to learn to live in harmony with the tornadoes. You come, we enjoy your beautiful, amazing nature, experiencing a different day. When you leave, we can get recovered very quickly and move on. And we have to do something about it to tame tornado, to guide tornado, to say hello to our civil structures instead of ruthlessly destroying our civil structures and saying goodbye. To achieve this, we need to be prepared from different perspectives. First, be prepared physically, making our civil structure more wind resistant. And to do this, we need to know the actions of tornadoes on civil structures and how capable they are. So at WAM we'll be using CFD simulation to model the swirling wind flow using this cylindrical computational domain. And this is the velocity inlet, and this is the pressure outlet. Air particles move up while rotating. This is tornado. And now let's see the wind flow on a horizontal plane. This is tornado center, and this is inner area. In the inner area, air flows outwards, resulting less air in the core region. Less air means less pressure. And this is why one feature of tornadic wind field is a significant atmospheric pressure drop. And you may heard about low negative pressure and very high suction about tornadoes. That is what they are talking about, the low pressure in the core area, in this area. We can simulate tornadoes with different flow structures by adjusting the boundary conditions. And this is a tornado with multiple subvortices. And in this situation, you can see that it's 4 subvortices. And for this type of tornado, each subvortex not only rotates about their own center, but also swirls with the overall vortex. Here it shows a building can be attacked by different subvortices sequentially, and therefore a multi-vortex tornado can be more dangerous than a single vortex tornado, can be more devastating than a single vortex tornado. In order to get the pressure of the action of a tornado on any civil structure, and we simply put this civil structure and its surrounding buildings in the computational domain, and then we can get the pressure distribution on the building surface. And based on the pressure distribution on the building surface, we can figure out the total forces and moments acting on the entire building. So for example, we will have 2 forces on the horizontal direction. They are the 2 drag forces. And then there's one force in the vertical direction. Actually, it is upward. That is uplift force. And then associated with the Fx and Fy, we'll have two overturning moments. And also we have a rotational moment. So we will get everything. They are the actions of tornado on civil structure. We not only study the action of tornadoes on buildings, but also on bridges. In order to validate our numerical simulation results, we build two small-scale tornado simulators. And one is made of steel, the other one is made of transparent glass. I would like to give the credit to my PhD student, Mr. Ryan Harmoniously, and he built these two small-scale tornado simulators. Here it shows a swirling wind flow was produced. And we did a lot of outreach activities using this facility. And here it shows the behavior of windborne debris in tornadic wind field and the impact of tornadoes on communities. And then we designed a large-scale tornado simulator. And this is the zoom-in figure of this part. And swirling wind flow is produced here. There's an overhead crane here that will move the device back and forth to model translating tornadoes. And currently, my PhD students are working very hard to put them together to assemble them. And while we are waiting for the physical tornado simulator to be assembled, we developed the CFD model of the entire facility. Besides numerical simulation and experimental testing, we also do reconnaissance surveys to collect first-hand perishable data to further validate our simulation results. And for example, immediately after 2019 Jefferson City tornado, we went on to the site to do the post-damage inspection. After tons of research, we can tell the high wind speed in tornadic wind field can produce a big drag force and accordingly overturning moment. And they can knock down the walls and they can collapse the entire structure. Also, the significant atmospheric drop in the core around the tornado center can produce a big uplift force, tearing the roof off. So now we know how capable tornadoes are. Does this mean our house needs to build like a concrete castle in order to survive? Not necessarily. Now let me show you some photos taken during our post-damage inspection after tornadoes. So here it shows the roof is torn off from this house, but the roof itself wasn't severely damaged. Neither was the house. And look at this one. Where's the roof? It was blown off. However, the rest part of the house was severely damaged. Actually, this type of damage was caused by the failure of the connection between the roof and the wall. So if this is the roof, there should be some connections. But they failed due to the big uplift force. So now you can guess which part of a tornado passed these two houses. So if we go back to the last slide, so that should be related to significant atmospheric drop at tornado center. It can cause a big uplift force. So that is to say, most likely, the center of the tornado passes these two houses. Look at this one. This is a mobile home. It's upside down. And this damage was caused by the failure of the connection to the ground. So again, this is the connection failure between the foundation to the ground. So all these photos show that if the design strength of connections between different assemblies is increased, the integrity of the entire house can be significantly increased. And the connection can be between the roof truss and the top plate of the wall, can be between two floors, can be between the wall and the foundation. By doing this, we can achieve continuous load path, and all the forces acting on the house will be transferred through to the foundation. And to summarize this part, the tornado resistance of your house can be enhanced by applying extra metal pieces between assemblies. So that is to increase the connection strength between assemblies. Let's call it reinforcement. At this point, you may have started to think of reinforce your house to make it more wind resistant. Does it mean you are safe? Not necessarily. Actually, the flying windborne debris thrown into your house can cause enormous damage to your house. And these windborne debris can come from the unreinforced houses that surround yours. That is to say, even though you are conscious, you reinforce your house. If your neighbors don't reinforce their houses can be destroyed or severely damaged, generating windborne debris. And this will increase the risk of your house being destroyed and threaten the lives of you and your family members. And therefore, the tornado resilience is a matter for the entire community. Yes, in terms of resilience, your neighbor's mind and decision are as important as yours. Then how do we educate your neighbors to reinforce their houses? Here is what we do. We have been developing the virtual reality animation of tornado disasters for this education. Based on a psychological theorem, protective action decision model, people who have experienced disasters are more likely to take proactive measures. Unfortunately, not everyone in the community have prior tornado experience. And therefore, we have been developing the virtual reality animation of tornado disasters to provide people with a tornado experience. And so people can virtually, personally experience the tornado disasters. And to be specific, once you provide the information on your building and the expected tornado intensity, our simulation tool can generate the tornado wind field and figure out the pressure acting on your house and how your house performs. And all the obtained data will be used for the development of a virtual reality animation. And in the virtual environment, you will see a swirling wind flow is generated approaching your house and tearing your house into pieces if it's not strong enough, generating windborne debris and crushing the occupants inside the house. And this is what will happen to your house when this intensity of tornado strikes your community. And this is a personal experience of tornado disasters. And based on this experience, you will be able to make a better decision on whether you should take proactive measures, reinforcing your house. Finally, you believe it is important for you to be proactive in order to protect you and your family members, as well as your neighbors. Then a question comes into your mind. Where can I come up with the money to be proactive? Either building a new resilient house or reinforcing my existing house? A fantastic question. Another part of my research may address this. That is to provide a new mechanism to raise money for community resilience. And to be specific, that is to guide the government to issue bonds. And let me explain this using an example. If I ask you this, to make your home resilient, it takes $20,000. Will you accept this? And maybe an easy decision to you. Your response is no. I'm not surprised. I wouldn't accept this because I do not accept to live in the same house in the next 20 years. However, if I put it another way, indeed, it takes $20,000. However, the government will pay $10,000. In addition, your insurance company will reduce your insurance premium, and your mortgage company will waive your closing cost. And next year, when you do your tax return, you will get tax credit. Eventually, the total amount out of your pocket is only $2,000. Are you willing to pay this $2,000 to ensure the safety of your family? Of course you are. This will be the best $2,000 you've ever spent, giving you peace of mind. At this point, you may have realized the government plays an important role in the entire process. Now the government may say, we don't mind doing all the coordinating work. We can request the insurance company to reduce their insurance premium. And we can request the mortgage company to waive your closing cost. However, we don't have the money to pay you this $10,000. Where can we get the money? Issue bonds. Since these bonds will be specifically used for community resilience, we call this resilience bonds. Once the government issue bonds, and it will quickly collect the money from capital market, from the investors. So of course the investors purchase the bonds to look for interest. Then the government not only has the money to pay you $10,000, but also has money to do big resilience projects. For example, spending $10 million to build a nice public tornado shelter, and which can be used as a community center at regular time. Now you may be wondering where the government gets money to pay the investors' principal back at the end of the term of the bonds after either 5 years or 10 years or 20 years. Each year, the government can withhold a certain percentage of income tax, property tax, and sales tax. Through the bonds mechanism, the government coordinates to use tomorrow's money to achieve community resilience for today. And through the bonds mechanism, although the building owners pays the resilience cost at the very beginning, all stakeholders share the resilience cost. In summary, community resilience bonds offers an innovative, efficient, and sustainable mechanism to raise money for community resilience. And this mechanism does not depend on the budget of federal government at all. In conclusion, to live in harmony with the tornadoes, we need to treat our uninvited guests seriously. Before they come to visit us, we need to be prepared. First, be prepared psychologically, understanding an incident with a low occurrence probability can still occur to us, and understanding the significant loss induced by tornadoes. Here, we hope the virtual reality animation we have been developing will help you understand this. Second, be prepared physically, taking proactive measures by reinforcing your existing house. If you happen to build a new house, make sure to exceed the required building code and apply sufficient connections between assemblies. And here, our WAM lab will continue to work hard to provide the information for the improvement of building code. And third, be prepared financially. The adoption of resilience bonds will provide a sustainable mechanism to raise money to achieve tornado resilience. And for this, our WAM lab will continue to work with local state government officials to make resilience bonds happen. Last but not least, your participation in the campaign of community resilience is incredibly important. Then our community will become as resilient as we wish. And here, I would like to thank the financial support from different research agencies. Also, I'd like to take this opportunity to thank our WAM team for their diligent and efficient work. So without their wonderful work, I wouldn't be able to present to you so much wonderful simulation results. And thank you all very much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Yan. We did have one question, and it was, can the lay of the land, mountains, bridges, ridges, river bluffs, and things of that nature affect the path of a tornado?
Yes, that actually, that is one factor in wind engineering. We call this topography. We call this topographic influence. So the tornado is one type of wind, that is air movement, and there should be sufficient energy for tornado to pass through the mountains or hills. Therefore, the short answer is yes. And there's one type of research topic that is to study the influence of a different topography on the tornado tracks. And did I answer the question? Or do we have any other questions?
Thank you so much. That was very interesting, and really appreciate your time and effort, as well as your class joining us. Does anyone else have any questions or last minute comments? If not, we're a little past our time, but that's okay. But again, thank you, Dr. Yin, for your research, the WAM Center. I learned a lot more today with some of our laboratory research. And we hope that those of you who are not affiliated with S&T continue to look out at our website, not just for the research, but for our academic programs, non-credit programs, or any other area that you would find interested and would have any questions. Please feel free to reach out to us. Thank you all and have a great afternoon.
Thank you very much.